Morning, and welcome to your mental class. We have a comfortable place to sit. You can use block or blanket under your seat if you'd like. Once you found your comfortable seated position, we'll start by taking a few gentle neck rolls. Let your chin drop to your chest. And then bring your gaze over towards your right shoulder. Bring your chin left shoulder. And do that once more, moving slowly and gently. Push your fingertips out to either side of your mat. Drop your right ear to your right shoulder. And let the gravity of your head create space between your opposite. If you want to gently place your hand on the outside of your head to guide the head down, you can. Release the head back to center and then drop your left ear to your left shoulder, reaching down through both fingertips. And you have the option to use your left hand to gently guide your head away from the opposite shoulder. Take one more breath here, relaxing both shoulders down, and let your head float back to center. And you can take a few shoulder rolls, rolling your shoulders back, rolling them forward, alternating if that feels good. And then shrug both shoulders up to your ears, scrunching everything tight, tight, tight. Release them down. And one more time, scrunch your shoulders up to your ears and release them. And bring your right arm up overhead. Once your bicep is up by your ear, bend your elbow so that your hand drops down between your shoulder blades. And then lift your gaze straight ahead so that the back of your head is pressing into your arm. And if this feels good, if you want to stay here, you can. If you would like to go for a full bind, since this is sort of half a bind, you can reach your left hand behind you, bend the elbow, and start to reach your fingertips toward each other. Full breaths here. And release the arm back down to the mat. Shake it out if you need to. And we'll do the other side. Inhale your left arm up, bicep by your ear. Bend your elbow. Drop that hand between your shoulders. Lift your head ever so slightly so that the back of your head is pressing into your arm. Option to stay here or option to bring your right fingertips behind to try to meet the left. Three more breaths. And release the arm down. Shake it out if you need to. And we'll work our way into child's pose. You can get there however you want to. If you want to simply rock forward onto your knees, you can keep your knees wide towards the edges of your mat. Bring your big toes to touch. Send your hips back to your heels and slide your hands forward. If you're, or if you like to, you can use the block or a rolled up blanket as something to rest your head on. That way you can keep your neck neutral and release your head and neck from additional tension. Bring your awareness to your breath while you're in child's pose. Notice if it's deep, full breaths, if your inhales are long or short compared to your exhales. Notice how your breath feels. Are your breaths sitting right on the top of your chest? Or are they deep and full? Are they tensing up your shoulders when you breathe? And how does it feel in your belly? Do you feel your belly move to make space for the breath? And child's pose is a good place to start to make room for that. And we're slowly going to move out of child's pose. So if you are using a block or a blanket, you can slide that out of the way. And as you bring your hands back towards your body and start to come up, we'll make our way onto all fours for tabletop. So your shoulders are stacked over your wrists and your hips are stacked over your knees. Everything is in line. You will move through a few cat-cows. As you inhale, drop your belly, lift your tailbone, draw the shoulders away from the ears. and kind of pinch the shoulder blades together. You can bring your gaze up a little bit as you're pulling your heart through your arms towards the front of your mat. And as you exhale, round your spine, drop your head, release tension in your neck. And start to move through this at your own pace. Inhaling to cat, exhaling to cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Come back to a neutral tabletop. And we'll go into thread the needle. So for thread the needle, shift your weight into your left palm. Spread your hands, spread your fingers wide on the mat and press each finger down into the mat like a suction cup. Inhale your right arm up overhead. As you exhale, slide your hand under your other armpit and decide how far down you want to come. You can bring that shoulder all the way down to the mat. You can bring your ear or your cheek all the way down to the mat. And if it feels good for you, you can also slide that left hand forward, just like you did in child's pose. Slide your left hand under your shoulder. Press weight into it once again, lifting your right arm up to the sky and setting down, coming back to tabletop so that you can set up on the other side. Shift your weight into your right palm with fingers spread wide, pressed into the mat. Bring your left arm up. Exhale, slide it under your armpit. You can rest that shoulder down on the mat, ear to the mat if you want. Right hand can come forward. Slide your right hand under your shoulder. Rest yourself up. Lift your left arm up overhead before bringing it back down to the ground, coming back to your tabletop. And we'll return again to seated pose so you can cross your ankles and simply sit back or come to seated however you'd like. And we'll take a gentle twist. Set your right fingertips directly behind your spine so that your arm can act as a second spine and a support. Sit up nice and tall. Bring your left fingertips to your right knee and begin to bring your gaze over your right shoulder. Every time you inhale, sit up nice and tall. Imagine that there's an invisible string attached to the top of your head and it's drawing you upwards. And every time you exhale, you relax a little bit deeper into the twist. So inhale to lengthen, exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Let the breath guide your movement. And slowly start to unwind, coming back to center. And twist to the other side. Left fingertips come behind you. Sit up tall. Right hand can come to your left knee. Gaze comes over your left shoulder. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, allow that new space to be room for the twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And slowly unwind, come back to center. We'll make our way onto all fours again, rocking forward onto your knees. And from your tabletop, we're going to move into a downward dog. You can move your hands forward on the mat a little bit to give yourself some space. Spread the fingers wide, press them into the mat again, like starfish. Tuck your toes, lift your knees and lift your hips, and pedal out your down dog by straightening one leg and then the other. Saying hello to the hamstrings. And you can bend your knees as much as you need to press your heart towards your thighs so that your biceps are by your ears And you're creating a long line through your spine. Take a big breath, let it out your mouth. Look forward to that spot on your mat between your hands. Exhale, tiptoe, walk your feet forward until they come between your hands and come into a forward fold. You can have your feet hip width apart, which is 2 fist width apart, or you can have your big toes touching with your heels slightly apart. But let the top half of your body hang completely loose. And you can have your knees bent a little bit here too. You can sway side to side or rest your pinkies and your elbows. Shake your head yes, shake your head no, shake your head yes again, so that everything is loose and relaxed. Then we'll roll up slowly to a standing position. As you do so, though, root firmly down through your feet. And maybe engage your core just a little to support the spine. Let your head and neck stay completely relaxed and loose until the very, very end, when they're the last things to come up. And shine your palms forward, sliding your shoulders down and back away from the ears. Inhale your arms up overhead. And exhale, bring them to heart center. And we'll take a little balance pose here. And we're going to do tree pose. So if you have tree pose in your practice, you probably have a favorite foot you want to start on. I'm going to shift weight into my left foot. And you can play around with shifting the weight into the ball of your foot, back